in which Arjuna says, Kulakshaya pranashyanti kuladharma sanatana dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo divati uta. So in this verse, Arjuna is telling Krishna, with the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion. So we have discussed this verse. We will not get into the details, but in this verse, Arjuna is giving the next reason why he doesn't want to fight, because Arjuna sees destruction of the family. So this is the fourth reason why he doesn't want to fight. That is destruction of family tradition. So we discussed that if the elders in the family are destroyed in the war, then the family traditions stop, because it is the duty of the elders to see that the culture of the family continues. So in a society where elders are not respected and not valued and not cared for, then the elders get destroyed and practically the entire family tradition is vanquished and the family becomes involved in irreligion. Therefore, Arjuna says, I do not want to fight. So we discussed this also, that there are different types of dharma. So dharma basically means constitutional position. So there is the para dharma, that is the spiritual duty of the soul, that is to serve God, and there is apara dharma also. Apara dharma means dharma related to the body, like varna dharma, ashram dharma, jati dharma, rashtra dharma. So ultimately, everyone has to protect every type of dharma. Ultimately, the dharma of the soul connecting to Krishna is important, the bhakti yoga, but the other dharmas also, the duties of various ashrams, various varnas, all these are also important. So human life is meant to actually protect all these kinds of dharmas. So this is where we discuss the 16 samskars that are there in Manusmriti, Manu Samhita. These are the 16 major ones, and there are 40 other minor samskars, starting from the birth. In fact, before birth, Garbhadan, then all the various samskar, ending in Antim samskar. So all these sanskars are very, very important. And it is the duty of the elders to protect and to see that these sanskars go on. Just like there is Vivaha Samskar. This is a very important sanskar. But if this sanskar doesn't go on, then a boy and girl just live together, live in relationship, but there is no sense of spiritual evolvement that is there. Because these sanskars actually maintain that integrity, a sense of responsibility that is there. So maintaining the sanskar is the duty of the elders. So therefore Arjuna feels that if the elders are killed, who will carry out all these traditions? Therefore these family traditions will be destroyed. So my dear Krishna, I do not want to fight. We had discussed text 40 also. Adharma bhavat Krishna pradushanti kulastriyah strishu dushtayu varneya jayate varna sankara. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. So, women are considered to be very important aspect in an entire civilization. Because women actually give birth to the next generation. So protection of women and to see that the culture of women remains is very important. So if women become very loose and the sense of dignity of women is lost, the entire society goes haywire, because the feminine power is very, very strong. So to protect the women and to see that the women don't get polluted because of unwanted, unscrupulous men. So the logic Arjuna gives, which is a very practical logic, is that if all the men are killed in the war, who is going to protect the women? Because in the war, only the men came on the war. The women were there in the house. So if all these men die here, all the women will become widows there. And if the women become widows, unwanted men will, there will be unwanted union and unwanted progeny. And in this way, the entire tradition will be destroyed. So we discussed that in any civilization, 5 kinds of people need to be protected. Just like you have litmus test now to test whether the particular liquid is acidic or basic, right? Alkaline. You have that litmus test. Similarly, to see whether a civilization is progressing or digressing, whether the civilization is actually growing in the right direction or it's going completely downward towards hell. What is the litmus test? The litmus test is these five things. If these five people are protected and happy, that means the civilization is going great. The first is protection of women. Women should be protected. Protected means women should be happy. They should be happy, protected in a very spiritual atmosphere. This is the first thing. Second is, so it says handle with care. This is very important. Women, I think we discussed this last time also. The two major wars in our Vedic history, Ramayana and Mahabharata, come because two women were mishandled. Draupadi was mishandled. Therefore, the entire war came up and the entire Kaurav race got destroyed. Why? Because one woman was mishandled. And because Ravan mishandled Sita, entire Lanka, not only Ravan, entire Lanka was destroyed. So women are like fire. You need to handle them very carefully. If the fire lets loose, it can destroy practically everyone. So protection of women is something that's very important. Handle with care, handle with sensitivity. This is the first thing. Second is children, protection of children. To see that the child is taken care of in all respects, emotionally, spiritually, materially, in terms of health, physically, So protection of children is something that's very, very important. The third thing is the third kind of people who need to be protected in any proper, sane civilization is old people. Old people need to be protected because elderly people are very wise. They have more experience. They have seen life more than us, isn't it? Like all of us, we are going through a pandemic now, but there will be a lot of elderly people who have already seen a major epidemic or a pandemic, right? So experience counts. So respecting old people is important because if we don't respect old people, when we become old, no one is going to respect us because we are creating that kind of culture. The future generations are exactly going to follow what we do. So protection of old people is important. The fourth is protection of cows. Protecting cows is such a crucial thing because cow is an animal that gives milk. So cow is like a mother for us. Cows and bulls also. So protecting these animals, the cows and bulls, is something that's very important. Because in a civilization where mother is not protected, where your mother is slaughtered, what do you expect in that civilization? So there is this pain wave theory. If you afflict pain, especially to animals and especially to cows, that pain comes back in various ways. You can't imagine in what ways that boomerang, that material nature throws that effect back on us. So protecting cows means serving cows and keeping them happy. Not just protection, not just that they should not be sent to slaughterhouse. That's one level of protection. But the next level of protection is to see that they are very happy. In our Bombay ISKCON, Chowpatty Temple, we have a farm. Probably all of you have heard of it, called Govardhan Eco Village. Radhanath Swami, Gaurang Guru, and all these devotees have started it. So Radhanath Maharaj, in one class, he was explaining to all the devotees there that they have a Goshala there with around 100 cows there. So he was saying our idea of cow protection is not that the cows are just kept alive, but the idea is that the cow should be kept happy. The cow should actually be blissful there. So they have a rule in Govardhan Eco Village. Every brahmachari, every resident in that place spends at least 1 hour a day or few hours in a week to go and brush the cows, to massage the cows, so that the cows are actually happy. So protection of cows is so crucial. And in today's civilization, what to speak of cows, brushing the cows or feeding the cows? The cows are being slaughtered. such a pitiful civilization that we are undergoing. So protection of cows is so very important. The Bhagavatam explains the story of Parikshit. The first canto ends with it, that when Parikshit is going out in the kingdom to observe whether there are anything wrong that's going on in the kingdom, he sees that there is Kali, who's in the form of a king, trying to harm a cow and a bull. So Parikshit at once takes a sword about to kill Kali, and then Kali surrenders to him. So Parikshit was such an intelligent and sharp ruler, alert ruler, that he was seeing that not even one cow and bull are tortured. So this is how a ruler should be, protecting cows. And then finally, protection of Brahmanas. Brahmanical culture has to be protected because Brahmanas are actually keeping the tradition alive, keeping the spirituality alive in a society. Because if spirituality is missing, that verse from the Mahabharata, ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanya etat pashubir naranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubi samana. So the Mahabharata says that if you just do eating, sleeping, mating, defending, then you are as good as an animal if there is no dharma in your life. And dharma is protected by the Brahmanas. That spirituality, that culture, that life force, that respect for Vedic tradition is kept alive by the Brahmanas. So, in a society where there is no culture, the society becomes like a civilization or a society of vultures. You know what vultures do? Vultures actually eat all this dead corpse. So, Brahmanas are supposed to protect this spirituality. So, respecting Brahmanas and Vaishnavas is very important. They are very important element because Krishna is Go Brahmana Hidayacha. Krishna respects the Brahmanas and cows. So if you have to please Krishna, you have to please the Brahmanas and cows. So in a society where these five kinds of people are protected and kept happy, the society flourishes. So this was the rule for the previous kings. The kings would see that these five kinds of people are kept happy, and rest everything would be happy. But in modern day civilization, where this kind of training is lacking, people create so many systems, but they don't have any way to test whether that system is great or not. So that's what Arjuna is feeling, that if all the men are killed, all the elder people are killed, then the women will be polluted, unwanted men will exploit them, thus there will be unwanted progeny. So therefore he tells Krishna, I will not fight. So Arjuna sees the destruction of the family and society. So a leader is one who can foresee things. Like Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was explaining what is service. Real service means to create facility before the need arises. That means to actually foresee things. So Arjuna is foreseeing destruction of family and society. And Arjuna understands that the Varnashram system is very important for peace, prosperity, and spiritual progress. And when there is failure of the Varnashram system, and how does the Varnashram system fail? Arjuna is explaining verse by verse. When the elders of the family are destroyed, the elders are responsible for all the traditions, the sanskars, the purifying processes in a family. So with the death of the elders, all the sanskars, the purification process stops. The young members will become irreligious. And when the young members become irreligious, they will lose a chance for spiritual salvation. Right? They will lose a chance. And then irreligion becomes prominent in the family. And when irreligion becomes prominent, women become polluted. When women become polluted, there's rise to unwanted progeny. And from unwanted progeny, there is a degradation in the mindset. And there is war, pestilence, practically everything is destroyed. So therefore, Arjuna feels, my dear Krishna, I think it's more sensible that I don't fight. We don't undergo this war. This is where we ended last time. So we'll continue from text 41. Shankaro narakayeva kulagnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hi esham lupta pindo dadakriya. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down. because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. So Arjuna is giving the next reason why we should not destroy family tradition and why we should not kill these elders and other men. So Arjuna is feeling that if the elders are killed, the family tradition will stop. Once the family tradition stop, the women will get polluted because everyone needs engagement. Correct. So if you don't have spiritual engagements, if you don't have lot of puja and sadhana that you do, what will you do? You will sit your entire day watching YouTube and watching so many different nonsense because idle mind is devil's workshop. So therefore, there were so many traditions in our Vedic culture to keep everyone busy, especially the women folk busy, because the women actually give that spiritual vibration to the house. They keep that purity of the house alive. So if the elders are destroyed, family traditions stop, the women get polluted. If the women are polluted, there is unwanted progeny. So what will happen if there is unwanted progeny? Arjuna is saying an increase of unwanted population causes hellish life for the family and for those who destroy the family. And uh, Rajpru, can you? Yeah, thank you. So, and Arjuna says that the ancestors of such corrupt families fall down. Ancestors means Pitra. So, we all know that we have forefathers, right? So, the departed souls in a particular family are called our forefathers, and all of them are in different planets. Some are in Pitraloka, some are in different planets, and many of them may be suffering in hellish planets, undergoing some kind of difficulty. So it is the duty of the children or the generations ahead to actually give pinda. Pinda means Shraddha ceremony to the forefathers. So what is the idea of Shraddha? Prabhupada explains in the purport here that because our body is there because of our forefathers, because of our father, because of our grandfather, great grandfather. So we have a certain responsibility towards them. So who knows in what condition they may be. So therefore, at regular intervals, there is Pindadan. Shraddha ceremony has to be performed. So it is the duty of every generation, every child, every putra to do this. In fact, the meaning of the word putra, what is the meaning of the word putra? Putra means putrayate iti putra. So there is a hell called Pu. So one who delivers his forefather from hellish condition is called Putra. Correct? So this is the duty of Putra. That is why in Vedic tradition, everyone would want a son because the son can deliver. Right? So what is Shraddha basically? What is this Pindadan? So this is food, bhoga that is offered to Vishnu, and that prasad is given to the forefathers. So because he gets prasad of the Lord, that prasad actually helps the forefather ease his suffering wherever he is. Like if you go to Gaya, Gaya is very famous for doing Pindadan. There is Vishnu Pad, the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu actually landed at that place to kill a particular demon. So when you do Shraddh in Gaya, what they do is they take all your pinda and offer it at the feet of Vishnu. So that's the whole idea that you offer prasad of Vishnu to your forefathers, and thus their journey wherever they are becomes a little more smoother. So Prabhupada explains that it is the duty of every child in a particular family to do these rituals, the Shraddha ceremony. But if someone becomes a devotee of Krishna and engages in devotional service, so Prabhupada writes here, one who is engaged in the devotional service is not required to perform such actions. So generally, the general rule is everyone should do Shraddha. But if someone becomes a devotee of Krishna and a very sincere devotee of Krishna, he did not do this. Why? Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. So the sorry, the idea of Shraddha is you offer little prasad of Vishnu to your forefather. But if you become a devotee of Krishna, you are offering your life only to Krishna. And the results will not only come to you, but it will go to your hundreds of generations, hundreds and thousands of forefathers who have already gone, and the future generation who is supposed to come. All of them will get benefit. So, can all of you all keep yourself muted? Thank you. Yeah. So all of them will get benefit. Like Prahlad Maharaj, when Narsingadev comes in front of Prahlad, uh, Narsingadev, Prahlad is asking Narsingadev, "Oh my dear Lord, please deliver my father Hiranyakashipu." So this is a devotee. He is wanting to deliver his father who's trying to kill him. So Narsingadev tells Prahlad Maharaj, "What to speak of your father? 21 generations ahead who have already gone and 21 generations to come. All of them are delivered just because of you. Just because you become a devotee, everyone is delivered." Gaurang Prabhu, one of our senior devotees in ISKCON, he was telling an interesting joke. So one time, he had taken Govind Prabhu, another senior brahmachari from our Chopati temple, to his family. So there was a family meeting of his, and generally the rule is you don't preach to your family members. You get someone else preach. So Gaurang Prabhu, even though he's an expert preacher, he knew that if I give lecture to my family, no one is going to value it. So he took Govind Prabhu to preach to his family. So Govind Prabhu in the class, he was telling his entire family. So practically all the cousins, huge family of Gaurang Prabhu there. So Govind Prabhu was telling all of them that you are all very fortunate that in your family you have a devotee like Gaurang Prabhu. So because of him, all of you all will get delivered. At the end of the class, one of the cousins of Gaurang Prabhu told him, "Keep doing bhakti nicely. Don't leave ISKCON and come. Because you are doing bhakti, we are getting delivered." So the idea is, if someone becomes a devotee of Krishna, then the entire family gets delivered. So Prabhupada quotes from the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 41st verse, Devarishi bhutapta nrinam pitrinam, na kinkaro nayam rinicha rajan, sarvatmana ya sharanam sharanyam, gato mukundam parihartya kirtam. So we all have different debts. We, because so many people have helped us, the demigods have helped us, Rishi, the sages, Bhuta refers to the living entities, Apta and Rinam, the family members, humankind, Pitrinam. So all these people have helped us, and we all have certain debts to perform. Like for the Devatas, you have to do Yagya. For the forefathers, you have to offer Shraddha. These are different debts we have to perform. But the verse says, but if someone becomes a devotee of Krishna, Sarvatmana ya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihartya kritam. Anyone who has taken shelter of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all obligations and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither debts nor obligations to the demigods, sages, living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. So, if someone becomes a devotee of Krishna who is taken to the path in all seriousness, then such a person need not do Pindadan and all the other things, because such obligations are automatically fulfilled by performance of devotional service to the personality of Godhead. Because when you become a devotee, Krishna takes responsibility not only of you, but of your entire family. There's a pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Chaitanya would go to the house of Srivas Thakur to do kirtan. And in that house, there was one Muslim who would stitch clothes for Srivas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had such love for Srivas, he said that even that person, I will take him to Vaikuntha because he has connection with you. So when we become a devotee of Krishna, all our friends, relatives, everyone gets benefit. So in this verse, Arjuna is telling Krishna that if the women get polluted and there is unwanted progeny, then no one will do this Pindadan, the Shraddha ceremony, which is very important. Yeah, so we'll go to text 42. Dosherete kulagnanam varna shankara karake utsadhyante jati dharma kula dharma cha shashvata. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. So he says that people who destroy family tradition and who create unwanted children. So such people destroy all kinds of family projects and community projects and family welfare activities. So, and Arjuna is actually feeling that he will be responsible for this. So why is Arjuna giving these arguments? Because Arjuna feels that I will be responsible for all these things that can come. Now, so he's analyzing it too much. Like in the Ramayana, there is this very interesting episode when Hanumanji goes to Lanka and he's trying to find Sita, and he's not able to find Sita. He's searching, searching, searching. He's not able to find. So, and he searched the palace of Ravan thoroughly. So that time Hanumanji thinks, he's analyzing. Hanumanji is thinking that, see, if I don't find Sita, and if I tell Ram that I have not found Sita, Ram will die. Ram will commit suicide. And if Ram dies, Lakshman will die. And then Bharat Shatrughna will die. If all these four brothers die, all their mothers will also die. Kaushalya, Sumitra, Kaikai will also die. And if all of them die, all the Ayodhya Vasis will die. And all the monkeys and Sugriva will also die. All of them will commit suicide. So Hanumanji decides that rather than I going and telling them I have not found Sita, I will only die here. I will only commit suicide. So here Arjuna in the same mood is thinking that in future, if elders are killed, men are killed, women will get polluted, destruction of the family tradition, and all these things will happen, and I will be responsible. So better I only run away from here. Better that I don't fight. So in this verse, Arjuna is explaining how there is degradation of society. Like we discussed, step 1, the superiors are killed. When superiors are killed, destruction of family tradition. When family traditions are destroyed, irreligion becomes prominent in the family. Then women become polluted. Then there is unwanted progeny, Varna Shankara. And after that, in text 42, Arjuna is telling, because there is unwanted progeny, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities will be devastated. And the result will be chaos in society. Probably Arjuna could predict what will happen in Kali Yuga. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that community projects or family welfare activities in essence means Varnashram Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, protecting the 4 Varnas and 4 ashrams. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. So the purpose of the entire society is to see that everyone is happy doing their duties and everyone is trying to please Krishna. Sam Siddhi Haritoshanam. So the ultimate aim of a Varnashram system, Etavan, I forgot that verse. So basically, the verse in the Bhagavatam says that the ultimate aim of the Varnashram society is to actually please Krishna. Sam Siddhi Haritoshanam. So that is the aim. So Prabhupada writes here, therefore, the breaking of the Sanatan Dharma tradition by irresponsible leaders of society brings about chaos in that society. And consequently, people forget the aim of life, Vishnu. So when people become leaders and people break the Sanatan Dharma, the tradition, the culture, the spirituality of the society is broken, then people become blind to the aim of life. And what is the aim of life? The aim of life is Vishnu. Swartha Gatim hi Vishnu. So the only Gati is to attain Vishnu. So when people become blind to this aim, they think that enjoying this life is all in all, and the entire society becomes chaotic. Such leaders are blind, and persons who follow such leaders are sure to be led into chaos. So this is the root cause, and Arjuna can predict here very clearly that when all these traditions are destroyed, When culture, spirituality, Sanatan Dharma is destroyed, what remains in a society is a society of animals. Like we always tell, what is the difference between Bhavan and Van? Bhavan means a house, a civilized house where people live, humans live. One means a forest, an uncultured, a place where there are no rules. Everyone is just wanting to kill each other. A forest where animal lives. What is the difference between Bhavan and Van? It's the word Bha. So when Bhagavan is not there in a society, when God is not there in a society, what remains is animalistic society. That's all. Everyone is wanting to pounce on each other and grab. Whoever becomes expert in grabbing, survival of the fittest, the smartest, whoever is smart, fit, and who can cheat others, grab others, pull others, he becomes the winner. Why? Because people have become animalistic. The society has become chaotic because God is missing. They have removed God from the picture. So when you remove God from the picture, who enters? Devil enters the picture. Devil in the guise of God comes and takes over the entire society. So therefore, Arjuna is telling Krishna, Krishna, I think it's more sensible that I don't fight. Uh, should we stop here? There are three more verses we could do the next time. It's almost about to get over. Anyone has any questions till here? Any questions? On any comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
When we had such nice system, the Vedic system, how it deteriorated so badly to this extent?
Yeah, there are various angles in which you can answer that question. One is this is how Kali Yuga will be. As Kali Yuga goes, things will get degraded further. So that's how the Yuga cycles are also there. But we just can't blame it on time factor, saying that just the Yuga cycles. It's also how responsible leaders, one by one, without understanding what the actual aim of a civilization is, they start to take up responsible roles and they really don't have this Vedic training. So that's why previously all of us know that even a son of a king, a prince, would go to a gurukul and he would get training. He would get proper training under a guru. What training? This is what that was taught. How to protect these kinds of people, how to protect women, how to protect children, how to protect cows. This was the training. So the training was not so much about skills. Yes, martial art is there, everything is there, but the lot of the training was on the character building. So when that thing is missing and your faith in Vedic scriptures is missing, then everything gets lost. Like, in our Bhagavatam classes, we were discussing this particular episode of Parikshit going and saving the cow. And Prabhupada explains so much in the purport. Practically, every purport Prabhupada explains how a government should be. How government should learn from Parikshit Maharaj that how they should protect innocent animals. Such an important factor. Parikshit saw that there is no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex anywhere in his country. Very vigilant government. So Prabhupada explains that if someone wants to keep Kali aside, just protect these five things. See that there is no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, and no hoarding of gold. So Prabhupada explains very clearly that these five things are taken care of, then you can actually be free from the influence of Kali. Yeah, so one reason is due to time factor, things degrade, but it is also because the kind of government we have had, around the world, which is more atheistic. No one has faith in God. No one has faith in the Vedic tradition. That's why the entire civilization goes down.
Thanks, Prabhu. I just saw one small video recently. In that, it shows like, the old cows, in India, they slaughter them, because they no longer give milk. Instead of that, in that video that person has shown, you just collect all the old cows and then feed them, the amount of gobar it gives at the end of the day, that itself is enough to sustain them, and you can use it for your farm. Such kind of
Correct, correct,
education, I think one should give more.
correct, correct.
And you are talking about the importance of women, that is also getting lost day by
Very true.
day.
Very true. Very true.
Uh, that is,
Uh,
I don't know where it all, how it got lost over the years. That's very
yeah,
sad.
it all these things begin with Hollywood and Bollywood.
And one more thing I want to share was, you are talking about if one Vaishnava is there, he will deliver the whole family, like,
Hmm.
because of him, the whole family will be taken care of, right? I have, I mean, not to
Correct,
that
correct.
extent, and not to that extent. What I can say from my personal experiences, from past 10 years after I retired, I have come into Krishna consciousness, and I can see the difference in my own family. Once you get into the right path, the whole family and your friend circle, everybody, there's a whole shift. The whole the change will take place. A drastic change will be there. You can notice it over the years how everything falls into place, and it will be towards God, towards the God and goodness. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Very true. Very true. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, Sharmila Mataji. Yeah, we'll send you the link of that. Yeah. So good. So next week we will be completing the first chapter. Also, we can have like a quick quiz on the first chapter, just to see that all of y'all have got a good idea of what the first chapter is before we get into the second. In fact, I think we can do it the next week also. I think 3 verses I should be able to complete it in 20 minutes. The rest half an hour we can have like a quick quiz. What do you all think? You all are excited for it?
Sure, Prabhuji, we'll have it.
Great. Okay. So we'll try to have something like an MCQ, questions displayed, So you'll have to just choose or something like that. It'll be like a simple thing, nothing very serious, but just to test how much you'll have understood and whether you'll have grasped at least the most important points across. Okay. So the next week, sorry, we'll complete the first and probably we'll do a little quiz also. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.